Continuing on Radio Row here on 3HL 104.5 The Zone, as we are joined right now by Britten Covey, as he and somebody that Titans fans would absolutely love to hear, which has never happened. He led the NFL last year in punt return yards. So, first off, Britten, can you explain what punt return yards are for us in Tennessee? We don't get this very often.
Oh, man. Yeah. I watch. So every week I watch every single punt clip from every team across the league.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like that's my film study. That helps me understand what the best returners are doing and what's effective. And, yeah, I watched some of the struggles this year for the Titans.
Struggle's not a word, bro. the moment that the punter's foot hit leather, it was a heart attack every single time, man.
Yeah.
So, like, for you and getting ready for those situations, balls up in the air, like how when you're studying, what are you studying?
Yeah. So for me, my main role is punt returner. I mean, think of the receivers we have. AJ, Devontae, Julio Jones. Cracking that rotation is going to be kind of hard, right? So I took my punt return role and I just obsessed over it. That's all I cared about in terms of I just want to own that role. And so for me, I looked at so many tendencies, and then I'd show 2 or 3 film clips to all the other 10 guys on my unit every week and say, this is what's going to happen this week. If your guy's foot is back 90 degrees, they're punting it to our right. If his foot's in front, they're punting it to our left. Your guy wants to release out. I just obsessed over it so much because everyone thinks you can just put a quick, fast guy back there at punt return. But every year I see it happens across the league. That happens, and then they realize you can't just you can't. Punt return is a skill. You can't just put a quick guy back there and expect them to be good. So looking for tendencies is huge because I know where the punter's going to punt it. I don't got to run to the ball. I'm going to be in the vicinity within the first second off the foot, right? And then the other thing is picking and choosing your times to take risks. I see guys all the time run east and west trying to make some Devin Hester type return happen. And I'd say a good portion of my returns, I understand after the first 2 seconds of the punt, this is going to be an 8-yard return because it's not worth taking the risk going outside, losing some yards. I'm going to eat up some yards and get down. And that's not flashy, and it frustrates people, but over time they realize, that's what's effective, right?
Well, and Britten Covey right now from the Philadelphia Eagles joining us right now. And, with us being in Tennessee, obviously there's some former Titans that have joined you guys over the past few years. We'll just say last 2 years, one of which was Brett Kern last year.
Yep.
And in that, do you discuss with Brett? Like, does he give you – do you guys do film sessions together where he's teaching you
absolutely,
that stuff?
100%. I love to pick the brains of and they help me point out tendencies of punters, right? There's so much that you can see with – these punters are so good in the NFL these days. And, I love to pick their brain. Brett was great. AJ is one of my best friends, of course. So it's like
now
I
have
said,
7,000 more questions, but we don't have enough time for them all.
I'm here for as many. If we don't have anything, I'm here for it all.
No, I mean, and that's the thing is between him and you have Kevin Byard that joined the team, all those guys, but you were here last year. And so with that going into this, last year with you in your role, how do you prepare for the stage of being back there, returning a punt, and getting ready for flashes and all that going off? Yeah,
well, I remember in the Super Bowl last year I said to myself, I'm going to appreciate this after the fact because I don't want to psych myself out, right? Yeah. And as a punt returner, especially when you're playing one play every 30 minutes sometimes, you know what I mean? You have to be locked in emotionally, physically. I never worry about catching the ball. That's when guys start to get into trouble. I try and get as many reps as I can in the off season and in practice to where catching the ball is like the last thing I would ever think about because it's kind of like a golf swing. I don't know if you golf. Once you start thinking about your swing, you feel like you're a robot, right? Yeah. You feel weird. If you can find one thing, this is what I always tell other punt returners, find the one physical thing that will fix like a chain reaction the other things, and that's your key to catching the ball.
Well, we only have a few more minutes with you, and the other thing that everybody talks about when they talk about you is your workout style. And, just a few minutes ago we had I call him the American Ninja Warrior Akbar, not saying the last name, but we had him in here, and he's a weights guy, and he's a gym rat. And that you have a totally different thing. And if you're watching on Zone TV, you're wearing a Morpho stuff. What exactly is this?
Yeah. To me, to be a great player, it's all about being able to move your body. It's not about being able to push weight. It's how well can you move your body, right? That's why Like, yeah, Myles Garrett's strong, but have you seen how he moves,
Yeah.
right? So functional movement is the key, and that's why I do weighted apparel. Amorpho is a weighted apparel company that they use all these little weights. It's called microloading, and they spread it across your body evenly. So this is a weighted vest.
Yeah, I wanted to hold it up. God.
Yeah. It's heavier than you think,
It
right?
is heavier. It absolutely is.
And you see on the side, it form fits to your body. So I can go run routes with this. I can go run with this, do things. And I'm working the exact muscles that my body's going to need to use rather than just push weight, you know?
So, and so with that, it allows you to have the weight, but it doesn't hinder any movement that you maybe goes because
100%.
As a former baseball player, we had different workouts for what we were doing as compared to what football players were doing in that sort of stuff.
And so a lot of guys want it to be even heavier, but they made the exact weight so where it doesn't change your mechanics.
Yeah.
Because that would be,
Absolutely.
bad. So it doesn't change your mechanics and it doesn't hurt your joints.
Yeah.
But even if you're not an athlete, wearing it hiking, I love it. I really do.
As we wrap up, my wife wants me to ask you this question, and it's not where you're going, where you think it's going. I'm just gonna let you know.
Okay.
She is a huge Jason Kelce fan.
Yes, many women are.
Yes, and it's the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. But she is heartbroken if he does step away. But what has Jason meant to you as a center and being able as a leader in that locker room? Well,
Jason's the best. He has not only the utmost respect from everyone in the locker room, but everyone just wants to be around him because he's so fun.
Yeah.
I can't put a 60-40 thing on it, but if I think he's going to come back, and I'm sticking to that. I think the idea of having another coordinator come in, fire up the team, everything is too enticing. I hope he comes back.
And I hope that the Titans are able to catch a punt like you can. I mean, just letting you know that later on in that. So, no, I appreciate you sitting down, bro. This right here is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic weighted workout, especially for a lot of things, the type of workouts you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic, man. We appreciate you stopping by, bro.
This is a blast.
Yeah, Britton is here joining us right now from the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll have more on 3HL next on 104.5 The Zone.